It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Finally!
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for clicking on the video. It's been a while since my last video.
Oh my goodness!
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, this well-played guy, he fell off, he quit, his job got taken by this Umbral Guides kid. You know, I'm here to tell you, it's not. The only job who's got taken was Kai's, but he got it back. Out of pity. Anyway, this video is about Chroma and his Guardian Armor Augment. I wanted to make a video on this last week, but I had a family emergency take place and my head wasn't in the right place. Thankfully, at this moment, that person is getting helped. Now, I prefer not to discuss personal matters on this channel, so please don't ask any questions about it. As for Chroma, however, this augment, while a massive step in the right direction, still highlights Chroma's inadequacies as a Warframe in the current meta. And truth be told, I've never been a big fan of Chroma to begin with, unlike some people. Most people know of Chroma and his issues, but in case you just started playing and you found this channel today, consider subscribing and check out some of my other content on Warframe. I host giveaways of Platinum and provide Warframe builds and showcases for things I find interesting in this game. So, if you fancy those things, hit the subscribe button and leave a like too. As for Chroma's issues, where do I start? Let's start with his passive. Chroma arguably has the worst passive in all of Warframe. It reads, Chroma possesses an extra mid-air jump and bullet jump. Wings matching Chroma's energy colors will form during these maneuvers. The ironic part about his passive is that it's movement related, which is what you want in a game like Warframe. However, in this case, it's not very good, especially when you compare it to other Warframe passives. His Spectral Scream is dreadful and has zero scaling. His Elemental Wards cannot be recast, and the benefit does not extend to Warframe minion types. His Vex Armor, which this video is about in the new Augment, did finally receive some quality of life changes, but it has taken literally years to get to this point. And his fourth ability is terrible as well. It's very, very niche, and you honestly often subsume it over other abilities like Nourish. With the most recent update, Chroma received a new augment for Vex Armor. It reads, Chroma's health takes 50% of the damage dealt to allies within affinity range, squad kills restore 5% of his health over 3 seconds, and it increases Vex Armor duration by 1 second. Now, this is very good on paper, however, the ability itself is still not that great, truthfully. What they should have done is incorporate the augment into the ability itself and just make the augment do something else. The problem with Chroma is the way you build him, and currently the only way to really utilize him is by maximizing strength and duration. However, the problem with that is that when you completely build into two aspects of his stat pool, you're forfeiting range and efficiency, which forfeits the ability to use his other abilities. Not that you would, because they're so bad, but the point I'm trying to make is that when you're sacrificing efficiency and range, you can no longer really benefit from Vex Armor and Elemental Ward reaching your allies. And you can still technically use his fourth skill, but because your range is so bad and your efficiency is so bad, those are the two main stats that his fourth ability really needs to actually be out and about. That's the problem with Chroma, especially with the support category being so stacked as it is, with the frames like Wisp and Citrine, and now Dante, who by the way is completely absurd. Chroma just can't stand out at all when you compare him to the other Warframes that do his job way better with no risk and all the reward. What I'd like DE to do is I'd like to see his kit buffs have scaling strength based off allies within range, rather than just having to build for raw strength. For each ally within range, you could be granted an additional 25 to 50% additive strength. This would give you room to breathe for your arsenal when modding him. It will also open up a lot of variety for his stats and even other helmet abilities you could try on him. As for his passive, I think incorporating Spectral Scream's toggle function into his passive would be very interesting, as you could possibly incorporate the different elements into not only your weapons, but allow you to change your elemental ward buffs. As you toggle through them, you could adapt to any situation and any faction you come across in the game. Now, how I would change Spectral Scream is I would do away with the channeled ability portion and just make it a one cast per use, as it could be a wide sweeping range of flames, toxic breath, or cold breath, allowing you to apply a bunch of statuses, maybe even max stacks of 10, onto an enemy. And with the new cold changes, I think would be really interesting, as you could just freeze a whole wave of enemies with your first skill and giving yourself that new crit damage bonus they're going to be adding with the next update. Now, for his fourth skill, I honestly think they should just make a brand new skill for his ultimate and make it completely different. Now, the problem with that is justifying it, because his fourth skill, as everyone knows, he separates his body and skin, and it turns into basically a turret. But the problem with that is the Tenogen skins and the skins in the game in general for Chroma obviously all have that function where the skin separates. So there might be some issues with, Tenogen creators, and they worked hard on making that work. So could be a little there could be an issue with that. So as far as like how I would change it, honestly, I really want them to just remove it and make something different. But honestly, just fix the modifiers, make it worth using, plain and simple. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I apologize for the lack of uploads this month. Just been very busy with real life things. However, I am really looking forward to the next update on May 1st with Protea Prime, her access, the new weapons, as well as some new augments apparently dropping with that. So I will be covering all that. So if you stayed and watched till the end, I thank you. Consider subscribing, liking the video, etc. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.